fought the fight, breaking down the walls in the dead of night. I don't come for peace, I come for the storm. Fanboys melt quick when the truth gets warm. Saw content's high, I'm collecting those tears. Just got started, but I'm cutting through fears. I'm not here for brand deals, I'm not for sale. I expose your lies, rip off the veil.
Well folks, we have one of the biggest simpletons getting spanked by Nintendo, but before we get into this, please hit the like button and the hype button as well. It really helps out small channels like mine to be able to stand up to greedy corporations and toxic fanboys. Now let's talk about what just happened, because this right here is one of these moments that's going to get people fired up on both sides. Nintendo just won yet another lawsuit, this time not against the company, not against a hacker group, but against a literal YouTuber who thought it would be a smart idea to live stream pirated Switch games before they were even released. That's right, this guy decided he was going to go online, stream unreleased Nintendo titles, and when he got called out, he didn't apologize, he didn't back down, he didn't take down the streams, he doubled down and said capitalism is cancer. Let me be clear right now, I actually agree with Nintendo on this one. This isn't about defending the corporate machine, this is about understanding that when you cross the line into outright piracy, you're not just hurting a company, you're hurting the developers, the artists, the sound designers, the testers, everyone who poured months or years into those projects. You can criticize Nintendo's business model all day long, and I do, but this is not that. This is somebody stealing their work, mocking them publicly, and then acting surprised when the hammer comes down. He was facing over $1 million in potential damages, $1 million. Now, if Nintendo had really wanted to make an example out of him, they could have gone for the entire amount. They could have buried him financially, but instead the court ruled that he had to pay $17,500, and honestly, given the scope of what he did, that's merciful. That's a slap on the wrist compared to what could have been. People can say what they want about Nintendo's legal team being ruthless, and they are, but in this particular case, the punishment fits the crime. And the part that really gets me is how defiant this guy was through the entire process. He wasn't some scared kid who made a mistake. He didn't say, hey, I didn't realize what I was doing, or I'll take it down. He taunted Nintendo. He bragged about it. He said, you might run a corporation, but I run the streets. That's not courage, that's arrogance. It's one thing to make a mistake, it's another to pick a fight with one of the most powerful legal departments in entertainment history. People forget how many times Nintendo has gone through this exact scenario. This is the third lawsuit in a row where an individual got taken to court and lost. One guy didn't even have legal counsel and tried to defend himself. He lost. Another one stopped responding entirely, also lost. It's like watching the same movie over and over again with a predictable ending. Nintendo wins because no matter how much people hate them, they have the resources, the legal structure, and the persistence to grind you down. And I know what the internet's doing right now. There are people trying to spin this like, oh, poor content creator, Nintendo's bullying the little guy again. No, stop. This is not the same as fan art being taken down. This is not someone getting copyright claim for fair use commentary. This is someone literally streaming pirated games that haven't even hit store shelves yet. That's not freedom of expression, that's theft. And I will always call out corporate greed, but I will never defend piracy of those kind of games. You can hate Nintendo for their overpriced games, their outdated online system, their questionable DLC strategies. Trust me, I've gone off on all of it. But when it comes to protecting their IPs, they are within their right to take action. And this situation proves why. When someone steals and broadcasts your work, it undermines the entire ecosystem. It sends a message that it's okay to take what isn't yours, and that's not something anyone should normalize. And yet here's the irony. Even with all this negativity swirling around them, the patent office reviewing their filings, the lawsuits, the backlash, Nintendo's business side has never been stronger. They just announced that the Switch 2 had sold 10.3 million units in only 4 months. That's the fastest selling console launch of all time. Faster than PS5, faster than the original Switch. It's breaking records left and right. They're projecting 19 million units sold by the end of the fiscal year. Think about it, 19 million. That's more than what the Game Boy Advance did in its first year. And while all this is happening, the fan base is split right down the middle. You've got people cheering these numbers like it's the second coming of Mario, and you've got people completely disgusted with the way Nintendo handles its legal business. I get it. it. I understand both sides, but here's where I stand. If you break the law, you have to deal with the consequences. And streaming pirated games is about as black and white as it gets. Some people are saying Nintendo's out of touch for going after individuals. I think the opposite. I think they're sending a message to every would-be leaker, every emulator distributor, every person sitting there thinking they can pull one over on the company. If you mess with their IP, they will come for you. And honestly, that's part of why their business is still as stable as it is. They control their brand like no one else. Now, I have sat here and said this many of times. I am perfectly fine with emulating old games that you are not able to buy from the companies themselves anymore. But I am completely against people pirating games that aren't even released yet. What I find interesting though is the timing of the lawsuit compared to everything else happening. You've got Nintendo being challenged by the US Patent Office, by Japan's Patent Office, even facing scrutiny over the Power World situation, and then this case drops. So while the headlines are screaming Nintendo's legal empire is cracking, here they are quietly stacking wins against individuals. It's almost like they're reminding everyone, don't mistake bad press for weakness. But even with that, I can admit the optics aren't great. This guy is going to owe $17,500, and for the next few weeks, the internet is going to milk this story as another evil Nintendo attacks small creator narrative. That's just how it goes. People love rooting for the underdog, even when the underdog is clearly in the wrong. And because so many gamers are fed up with Nintendo's pricing and policies, a lot of them are going to sympathize with anyone they go after, no matter the reason. Still, facts are facts. Nintendo doing what the law allows, and like I said earlier, I agree with them on this one. Not because I like seeing someone get punished, but because actions have consequences. Piracy isn't rebellion, it's irresponsibility. If you really want to stick it to the corporations, you don't do it by breaking the law. You do it by voting with your wallet, by not supporting predatory pricing, by demanding better quality. That's how you fight back, not by stealing games and bragging about it on the stream. And honestly, I think this case might make some people wake up, because while he got away with paying $17,500 instead of $1 million, the next person might not be so lucky. Nintendo doesn't forget, they don't forgive. And now that this precedent is set, every time someone tries to leak or stream something early, this case will be cited as a warning shot to the whole community. But here's where things get complicated. As much as Nintendo's winning legally, they're losing in terms of perception. People are tired of hearing about lawsuits. They're tired of seeing headlines about Nintendo crushing fans. They're tired of the legal aggression, the lack of transparency, and the absence of goodwill. Even though this particular lawsuit was justified, the timing makes them look like bullies again. And that perception matters because it fuels the narrative that Nintendo's out of touch and anti-consumer. And while that's happening, the Switch 2 hype is starting to cool down. Sales are historic, but the energy is fading. Mario Kart World did huge numbers, over 9 million units, but the excitement around it has died off. Donkey Kong Bonanza sold around 3.5 million, which is solid, but not the blockbuster people expected. The problem is that the big hitters, the 3D Mario, the real Pokemon mainline game, the next Zelda, they're not here yet, and without them, the conversation shifts from look how well the Switch 2 is doing to what's next. That's what's so strange about Nintendo right now. On one hand, they're winning everything that matters financially, on the other hand, they're bleeding goodwill, and this lawsuit just highlights that duality perfectly. You can respect their right to protect their property and still question their relationship with their fans. But again, in this specific case, I'm not siding with the streamer. You don't live stream stolen games and then act shocked when you get caught. That's not brave. That's not fighting the system. That's stupidity. And I don't care how much people hate Nintendo, being stupid doesn't make you a hero. So yeah, this lawsuit might look like another example of corporate overreach, but it's not. It's a straightforward case of someone breaking the law, getting called out, refusing to take accountability, and facing the consequences. Nintendo didn't ruin his life, he did that himself. And at the end of the day, while everyone's arguing about morals and ethics, Nintendo's walking away with record profits, record sales, and another legal win under their belt. So whether people love them or hate them, they're still dominating both the courtroom and the console market. That's the reality of 2025 Nintendo. Ruthless, efficient, and unapologetic. And while I'll keep calling them out for their greed and their manipulation of nostalgia, I'll also give them credit when it's due. Because on this one, they were right. Piracy is wrong in this situation. So yeah, this is one rare moment where I'm saying it outright. Good on Nintendo for standing their ground. Maybe it'll make some people think twice before they decided to stream stolen games for clout. Maybe it won't, but one thing's for sure, the world's watching and Nintendo's reminding everyone that they still run the show. And with that said, we'll see how long this balance lasts, because between the lawsuits, the patent re-examinations, and the fading hype for the Switch 2, 2026 is shaping up to be a defining year for Nintendo. They're winning the short game, but whether they can win back the players' trust, that's the long game. And it's one thing they can't fight in court.
And that's it for the video. If you truly enjoyed it, do me a favor and hit the like button, hit the hype button, share it around, and make sure you're subscribed. I post a long video every day, and I also go live Monday morning at 5 a.m. Pacific time, where I react to the saltiest fanboys around. And also, make sure you subscribe, because I'm really trying to hit 5,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I really need your help. If you really want to support the channel, consider becoming a member. It's only $1 a month. You'll get special badges, custom emotes, and of course your name shouted at the end of every video. And once that list gets too long, don't worry, I will turn it into a full-on credit roll so everybody gets their chance to shine. Also, don't forget to check out the merch if you want to rep the Vigilante Fire. And as always, until next time guys, stay vigilant.
And now it's time to read off the members of the channel. We got Cross Objective, Maximilian Pegasus 88, Matt Fox 94, Dr. Downvote, Oh No is Justin, Brian Payne, Andy Ritz, C-Stars Pipla, Maximus 2400, Geezer Noob, Dustin 360, That PlayStation Gamer, Steven Ramy, Matthew Buckley, Blue Moon, John Marr, Johnny Bones Jones, The One and Only Group, Female Goku, Power Man UK, Thomas Topkins Jr., Alyssa D. Lawless, James Rowe, Mario 123, Kasaria, Shane's World, Renee, Dragon Knight Dragonborn, 20 the Witch Lord, Vissus Jaybird, Crippled Gamer, Blast 1314, General Ryu Haka, CM, Iden Force, and Pokeplays. Thank you so much for becoming part of the crew.
You can cry in the comments, but you won't survive. Like and subscribe if you feel that vibe. We're hard.